Yo, what's going on? This is Jeff at GeekDriven. We're here for another episode of Movie and Shows, where we review The Last of Us, and this will be episode 4. I believe it's called Please Hold to My Hand, and I think it's like a song. So with that said, let's get this started right. All right, I'm going to embarrass the hell out of myself. Here we go. Love will abide. Take things in stride. Sounds like good advice, but there's no one at my side. And time washes clean.
That's it, bro.
Love wounds unseen.
Oof. Sing it.
That's what someone told me, but I don't know what it means. 'Cause I've done everything I know to try and make you mine.
Take it away.
And I think I'm gonna love you for a long time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right.
Close to that, brother. Woo!
That's for last week's episode. That's to all the damn haters who freaking, review bomb that thing just because they haters.
I'm playing this on Valentine's Day, by the way.
And that's why I love that episode. That episode was deep. That episode was awesome.
Yes.
The episode was about love. Doesn't matter who or what it was. But anyways, we are here. I am Jeff. Let's get going and say hi to the rest of the panel. Charlie, what's going on? I embarrassed myself enough. Please take it away.
Oh, hey, I'm Carlos Charlie, and I'm not going to sing right now at this segment. I'm not going to battle you, man. You took it away. I'm not going to sing right now.
Bumblebee,
that was awesome,
Bumblebee.
Let's start a rap battle over here.
Yeah. You and Steve. It's you and Steve.
That's all you, Steve. Well, yeah, everything's good here, man. Good to be here again on this exciting episode. I can't wait to talk about it. So everything good, all good.
Just glad Hyper wasn't here. He wouldn't have let me let it down.
Oh man!
Oh yeah, good timing.
Hey, that was from the heart, bro. From the soul.
Yeah, exactly. It's all that counts.
All right. Music is for everybody, man.
American Idol, Lonzo.
What up, Steve?
Nothing, man. Chilling. I'm just freaking glad, man. The weekend's up, man. I'm fully better, 100%. Just back and ready to talk Last of Us, man. Sunday was nice, man. Did some gameplay, saw some gameplay. Got inspired, by Charly.
Okay.
Over here,
Nice. Awesome, man. Awesome. Glad to hear
your
that.
boy was playing on his Switch, using his Switch to full advantage. You know what I mean?
Nice, bro.
And then,
nice.
because, family time, and then Last of Us to close the night out. And then My Hero Academia. Woo! Dear God. Wow. So your boy had a great weekend. I feel better. So
nice,
back
man.
to
Nice.
it.
Nice.
Back to it. You want to get this roll call going clearly and surely, and then
let's get the banners going. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Yeah, man.
Damn, go ahead. And
right.
Again, you want to hit it? Go for it.
No, go for it. Go for it, my man.
Sure.
I've had enough talking. Trust me, I'll talk about you later.
His cords are a little sore at the moment, so
yeah.
Okay.
The head's a little red hot right now from embarrassment. So let's go.
It's all good, dude. That song was dope, bro. You done did it. So we're gonna use code Nirvana14 for 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents, guys. 99 cents. If you're a guy that's coming in or a gal that's coming in to the collecting, you want to go ahead and track your collection, they got you there. If you want to go ahead and see what that marketplace and where the trends are going and when it last sold, and you can go backwards to move forwards, you can do that too. If you want to invest and add into the books that you really want, guess what? They got you covered. Market value. You can go ahead and do a little due diligence and even then some. But cover price got you covered. Use Nirvana 14 for 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. And then our friends over at Bird City, you use TNH10, man, gets you 10% off of your purchase. Now, Aunt and Laura, they were down on the west side over here celebrating with Jeff over at the con, So they were out here, man. But, if you guys missed their drops on Friday, I highly recommend you set your alarm, get you in there. It doesn't work for new releases, but again, the catalog that they have, who could complain, right? You got tons of artists in there, and you hit TNH10, catch 10% off your order. And then Shout out to the Four Horsemen faction. They're jumping in action. You got brother number 1, brother Rudy, up in the building. SoCal Cat all day long. What's going on to something? Well, you already know something right's going to happen when he's around. Brother number 3 is the senpai of senpais, D-anime, etc. And then all the way from the other side of the pond is Glenn 2K12, Glenn Obi, they call him, and a game player extraordinaire, so they say, in the, ether regions of the internet. Let's go ahead and tantalizing beats, man. They tickle those eardrums, as you know. Our brother over Beats by Monster. Go ahead and follow his page. Eddie is awesome.
Eddie.
Also collector as well, man. Get you some of that silver. And then let's go ahead and jump back in. And then first the worst. Freaking Alonzo is in the building. What's going on, Alonzo?
Alonzo.
And then you got Apollo Cruz.
Apollo, baby. What's up, baby?
Yeah, man. Technically, Apollo is first. Like, if you're not first, then you're last. Maybe that's another movie and show for you guys. If you guys don't know that one, we got to talk to you in these Raptors over here for a fine price. Dare I say it? GT Key Comic. What's going on with the comic community? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. And then you got Mojo Quid. What's going on, Mojo?
What's up, Mojo?
Literally striking a lighter. Right, you darn right, Mojo. That's what we do.
Yeah. Felt that.
Yeah. Look at that. I was like, híjole madre. He's saying, you got Mama Comics Lucy right here up in the building. What's going on, Lucy? She's getting serenaded by Jeff, man. And then Iman, World of Geek, our brother over at the C-List Villains podcast. If you're not following them, go ahead and follow them as well. And go ahead and check them out, man. What's going on? Villains only. Okay. Man, I'm over here needing some water, and I didn't even sing. I think we're caught up, Jeff. Let's go. But the mother effer go. That sound.
Man, you guys are good.
I got chops, right? All of a sudden, the Lennonverse is
straight up American Idol.
Hey, Jeff, sing again.
I know. I bring it back, Jeff. Bring it back.
Stick to the rap battles.
Don't quit your day job, dude. You guys, I'm gonna go on American Idol and test my hand, my voice. What do you guys think?
Vote for you. I would vote for you.
I'm sorry, I think we're too old.
Man.
Actually, we are, huh? I think it's like 25 or 28. So
not bad. All right, I ruined it. All right, Jeff, take it away, my brother.
Oh man, yeah. So it was episode 4. It was. Oh my god.
I'm gonna.
That's if you got talent, right? It's the buzzer.
Anyways, we watched episode 4 of The Last of Us last night.
Yeah.
And it was again called Please Hold to My Hand. It's the episode right before we get halfway through. This is a 9-episode season. And of course, if you guys remember, in the 3rd episode, we got to meet Frank and Bill. And so what did you guys think of this episode? Just like give me your brief short thoughts on what you thought of the episode, and then we'll get into details afterwards. So Steve, let's start with Steve today.
All right, man, dude. Thank you, sir. You know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the episode for the dynamic building between Joel and Ellie. I like that, dude. I love how it's kind of panning out. And just the action, kept me intrigued at the very end. There was a cliffhanger, that could be, that we will talk about as well. And it's just amazing, dude. I'm digging it. For me, it was like perfect. I was like, all right, let's get back on scene. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving this train. Let's, get that get to those 9 episodes, but make it worth it.
Nice.
Charlie, what did you think?
This episode is more like a build-up on what they're going to hit, because in the game, I hate this level. I hate this level with a passion. I want to skip this level, what they're going to go through. I mean, and I bet the series is just going to do like a little tidbit what's going to happen, but in the game, it drags. This level drags. You got to survive the whole city with the onslaught of these marauders. But besides that, it did follow the game closely when what Ellie does and what Joel does in the truck. We'll explain in more detail later, and also how they get hit and when they do that shootout. That's in the game too. So that's really cool. I definitely appreciate, you know, that closeness they're getting in that. And plus, like I said, they gave a little bit of background when they camped out, and it's a build up to what's going to happen. So when there's a build up, I mean, there's action, but not to the point that, you know, it blows over and explodes. Not till this next episode, which I think is going to hit hard. So that's, you know, that's a little preview right there.
Dang, are we gonna have another like ballad from Jeff? We need it.
No. That was a one and only time, and I did it early in the show, so not everyone was in here.
It's Mondo. He's crossing shows.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
he's definitely
on his way.
Taking care of another child.
Yeah, on his way. I know, right? You gotta go back to Baby Yoda eventually.
It's his way, you know.
It's his way. Yeah,
this is the way. He's taking care of the kids. Strict love.
He just said it during the show. It just says Easter egg. Yes, Ellie. This is the way.
Yeah, this was I honestly liked the episode. It wasn't grand. It wasn't fantastical. It wasn't like action packed or hard hitting. But I kind of was waiting for this type of episode because you can't have it all perfect. And I thought the first three were as close to perfect as they could have started. And so this one I was expecting a little lull, but a lot of backstory and a lot of relationship building and world building. And I think that's what the purpose of this episode was. It was that prep, like kind of what Charlie said, that prep episode to get us ready for the big episode. And remember, it is going to be the midway point for this next episode. So I think it had to be the setup, right? I think they'll do the same thing probably in episode 7 and episode 8, right? Like where you build up to the penultimate and then you get to the final episode. So I wasn't disappointed in it. I liked it. I can't wait to talk about it just because I really feel like this is our journey of, I guess, getting to know Joel and Ellie together, right? How they build that relationship, how they build that trust, and how they get to know each other. So this is all awesome. And also the other point was, I think one of the directors said, you know, or somebody had said it before, I can't remember, maybe someone on this panel, was like the biggest problem with this world is actually the people and not the infected, right? So, and this is, we're getting it from the jump here. We know who the bad guys are, or at least from our point of view. And so it's just humans doing, like, they're justified in their cause, but it doesn't make it right. Right. So.
Yeah, it's survival of the fittest, man.
For sure.
It brings the ugly out of people because you want to survive, right? You want to, and the numbers game is what gets, you know, like it becomes a critical piece, you know,
but it's also very poignant that it relates so much to the game, like our gameplay. Like I don't have to play the game. I've never played the game, but I feel the whole point of like, oh, they lose their truck, their transportation, they lose all their gear. You know, like they had just stocked up and now they got to start all over again, basically.
Yeah.
So and then, you know, that happens in the game, I'm sure. Like, oh, you know, someone, you know, made you go a certain way, or you know, it's just that's what I love about the connection. Like, you don't have to be one-on-one connection with the gameplay, but just seeing the point where you go, oh, I could see that happening in the game, or you know,
right.
But with that said, let's get started. Let's talk about how this episode starts. So we start with Ellie, who swiped the gun from Frank and Bill's, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think it was the one that Frank had in the desk drawer.
The drawer. Drawer. You're right.
And I'm thinking this is one of Bill's like favorite guns because it was in the house.
It was
very accessible.
Right by his side, yo.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I bet.
So she's checking out the gun, and you're just seeing her. She's in a bathroom and looking in a mirror. She's pointing the gun. She's taking out the clip. She's cleared the chamber. She's cocked the gun. She even smells the gun. Like, this is to the point where you almost feel like,
she's curious.
Wait a minute. I thought she just got the gun for the first time, where we're finding out, oh, she knows how to handle a gun. And she even knows that there's a smell that comes with firing a gun.
Gunpowder.
Yeah, the gunpowder. So she smells the gunpowder on the gun. So it's actually a really telling scene without her saying a word. Right. So that sets us up for the rest of the episode. She comes out of the bathroom and she sees Joel getting gas out of empty cars, right? Abandoned cars. And he's explaining that this far gone, gas even breaks down. So it's not going to take him as far. It's not going to last as long. And so that's like another good tidbit that they give you about the world, like real world building about where these people are at. Like, that's why there's still gas left in these cars, because they're kind of useless. So I love that part of it too. We also finally get her, I guess, with the pun book from Will Livingston.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, that was
so yeah, I hear that this is part of the game, and she's saying a lot of puns to him, and now you see the purpose of her saying these puns as not just as because she's a teenager or a kid, and that's just her, livelihood, but it's not livelihood, but that's just her character, and it also kind of builds that relationship with Joel, right? Breaking down his walls of toughness,
as well as kind of opening herself to a little more, like being intimate with, like, as far as a child, right, to a parent, building that relationship. And she's very observant as a child too, like for being her age, and dude, that was an interesting moments, dude. The funny ones, dude. I would die.
I also want to say that it's very reasonable for her to be more aware of her surroundings and be more mature in the sense, because she's living in a different world than what we're accustomed to, right? Civilization is. So she has to grow up fast. This is not a time of like, oh no, I'm gonna be innocent, and,
I know,
and frolic and play.
Frolic.
Yeah. So like I completely understand, and you have to, take those little leaps of faith or jump to conclusions that this is the part of the world, and this is what we're showing how the world is, how they're reacting to this world. But also, they travel. They're traveling to KC. Is that where we find out? Kansas City. And they're just seeing overgrowth everywhere. They're seeing abandoned cars, abandoned ships, abandoned tanks, military vehicles. Pretty much everything is gone and overgrown. Bridges are collapsed. Like there's all kinds that so it's real big world building stuff here. And then they go camping to rest for the night, but they go so far into the forest. And Joel makes a point, and this is a really good point, because it's like this would actually make more sense in The Walking Dead too, where they're so far out in the middle of nowhere. There's no people really out there, so there's no reason for any of the infected to go out there and infect anyone, right? Yeah. So he's saying it's there's no real worry about the infected, but there's more worry about the people, which is why they can't start a campfire. So they want to be seen. So I like all these little tips he's teaching Ellie, and he's teaching us at the same time.
They don't migrate. The affected here don't migrate like birds. They don't walk to the north or something like that,
And we saw that in episode, I think 2, or is it episode 1? No, it was episode 2, where we see them all just lying down on the ground. Yeah, right?
They just stick to where they're at. They stick to where they're at, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then we travel a little bit more. And she basically tells him, why don't you tell me a story about your brother? I mean, we've got 25 hours to kill.
I know. Yeah.
And he basically tells her about her brother, and her brother is just I think we kind of know who he is. He's been in the military, so what he says is he's one of those people who I guess he's like a follower or
a hero, savior.
A hero seeker. Yeah.
Hero seeker.
So
wanting to save others. basically.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's always misguided in that sense because he's always joining the wrong thing. He doesn't research or look into things. He's just kind of just goes at the whim, and this is why Joel's actually looking for his brother. Then kind of explains it that he's always watched over him because he's made these mistakes in the past. And he also says something kind of harsh. He says, the only thing you can do in this world is look out for family. And she basically asked him, well, are we family? He goes, no, you're cargo.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like that was pretty harsh and realist, but I think
first cut is the deepest, just like that.
Steve now, Steve,
this guy.
Steve.
So he
oh, damn, dude.
he it kind of says something about what he's doing in that moment, though, is that he's really pushing back on caring for her. Right, he's trying to be really harsh about it and very cut off. What up, Hyper?
Hey, Hyper, how's it going, buddy?
How's the show?
How's it going?
Oh, the show I was in right now?
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We were just running over Guns DC announcement and all that. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff to get through.
Nice. Well, if you guys don't know, go check him out on Comic Kingpins. It's a good channel.
Yeah.
Go
follow. Please sub up.
Hit him up.
We're close to our 500 giveaway.
Nice.
Awesome.
I think we're like around 30 subs away from the 500.
Oh man, you'll get there. You'll get there soon. You should be getting there soon.
Well, we were just talking about the very first part of the show. We're getting to the point where they're traveling to KC. They have just gotten to a roadblock. It looks suspicious because it kind of gives you this one little itty bitty bath where only one car can fit in at a time, and then they block it off. So now it feels like they've done this all on purpose. Somebody's done this, and so they find a route around, and they go through the city, and they found the KCQZ, the quarantine zone for Kansas City, but it's empty. The gates are wide open. There's no Fedra. So before we move forward, what did you guys think of the show up to this point? Anything stick out to you? And just let me know. Hyper, what did you think? Well, first of all, what did you think of the episode?
Honestly, dude, this was the episode I was waiting for. I may have been slightly down on the last episode, and I said it was a great episode, but in terms of furthering the story, I wanted a bit more in terms of the Joel and Ellie. This is the kind of episode I wanted tenfold in terms of getting that progression that I was waiting for. And look, if you guys look back, not one infected or clicker found in the entire episode. That goes to show that this isn't just a quote unquote zombie apocalypse. Show.
This ain't The Walking Dead.
There's a lot more to it than that, and this show clearly hinges on the performances of the two main protagonists,
which is the reason why this game is so acclaimed. Right, because it's more than just a game. It's a story. It's a movie. It's
survival.
Cinematic. Yeah, it's a deeper meaning and root to this game than just the gameplay itself.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, listen, zombie and end of the world movies are at this point are almost like a dime a dozen. So you kind of have to have things that differentiate it. And honestly, a franchise like this would fall flat on its face if you had it miscast. And even the set pieces, I think we have to also give credit to the set pieces. Like, there's a number of times where it gives you an incentive to rewatch an episode just because of catching Easter eggs and how to kind of, because when you're watching it the first time, you kind of invest in the story, but when you rewatch it, you kind of get a chance to look around and see stuff that you may have missed. So I appreciate shows like that.
Yeah, no, I had to watch the episode back to back. Thank goodness it was a shorter episode because I was like, okay, I can watch it back to back this time.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, you're right. You catch the details more because it's not like a new thing that you have to look out for what's going on and pay attention. Right. Now you've known what's going on. Now you can pay attention to all the details.
Yeah.
So anything stick out to you up until this point where they get to they find the KCQZ?
Yeah. So look, again, it's kind of unfair because I know a lot of this, like, it doesn't follow beat for beat from the game, but I kind of knew what was coming. And same with Carlos, he probably kind of had a feeling what was on the horizon.
Oh yeah.
It's just that, but you could tell, like, just based on Joel's interaction with Ellie, and him mentioning about, like, why can't we start a fire, like, and then his little subtle thing, like, they're going to do a lot more than rob you, like a little breadcrumbs to let you know that there's some bad dudes out there that and he clearly knows what's up. So you knew that, especially, like, again, it's all in the face, right? You saw the look of concern when he sees that tunnel, and he had like that oh shit kind of look, right? So
it's like, I know what this is type of deal.
Honestly, I can't say enough about how the show uses very little dialogue, but in terms of how their expression and just the way that they kind of fidget, move, and all that, there's certain things that they can say a lot with just body language and all that. So
yeah, good point.
There was already a sense of dread going in, just because yeah, like I said, Pedro Pascal's just letting the audience know without even saying a lot of words.
Right, yeah, for the amount that they talk, they say a lot more than what was actually said. Right, with all the little tidbits about the world that we're living in, and like rules that she should be following, even because she's so young, she doesn't know.
Yeah,
Charly, what did you think up to this point? Like, anything stick out to you that you want to talk about?
Yeah, in a nutshell, like this episode was like, okay, for example, episode 2 was like, here are the infected, here they are. This episode is like, here are the humans, the humans are the bad guys here. And you got to remember, in the game, when it's in my gameplay, but what's his name, Bill says, I don't care about the infected because they're predictable. What I worry about are humans. They're unpredictable. And in this case, he's right. And I can't say enough of what Joel says, how he was on both sides. Joel was, remember when he talks about Tommy, how like they were together, then they met Tess, and when he said they all got together, he didn't really imply on what he did together with them.
Right.
Pretty much they did whatever it needed to survive. So he was a marauder, they were hunters, they hunted innocent people to get their stuff to survive. In the game, they lightly touch on this too. And you have to remember, like, the things you do in the past kind of catch up to you in a way. So
hunt you.
Yeah, so that's like, please remember that, when this is all over, please remember that. It'll make sense later. But yeah, so that's a huge key. And then what Hyper says, once they get into the town, once that bridge was blocked, because the whole tactic to that, they want everybody to filter through the town so that they get caught and they steal their stuff, and then they do whatever they want with you, either recruit you, kill you, whatever they can do with you. So
I mean, we get a clue of what they do to you.
Yeah,
they do drive by an alley.
Yeah, there's a pile
of burned ashes and bones.
And they're not infected because there's no cordyceps on them. You don't see anything flourishing. So, yeah, that's a big hint. So, really be careful.
Steve.
Oh man, that was brutal. Yeah, just a lot of the, like I said, brought the ugly out of people, and the times, right? Like, it's just survival. It's just getting down to, like, hey, we have to take care of our own. Whoever comes in, like, no misunderstandings. We don't need any more people. We have just what we have, and we're doing just fine. And then the other, like the doctor, dude, and seeing that, what stuck out to me the most was he's innocent. He didn't know any of this stuff, and even then, she had to make an example. Like, 'cause she kind of has to be assertive, dude, because it's like she's leading the town. She's was able to commandeer Fedra, supposedly, right, and on her own. So, to be able to have that pull, to be able to lead those people, you have been doing something dope. You know what I mean? And yeah, dude, that's the most that you're hearing. What I want to point out too from Tiger Fett, man, is this is also something true. It's not The Walking Dead, but this episode harkens back to the excellent season of The Walking Dead. I think everybody's getting excited in the sense that they want to learn more, right? So much as far as the novice coming into something that they haven't played. You guys know where the story is going. For me, I'm just like, I'm invested, man, 100%. I want to know, like, everything about this episode. I want to go back and actually just buy the damn game to play and scare the shit out of myself.
Do it.
Do it, bro.
You know what I mean?
Do it. It's worth
And
it.
can I give a shout out to Kenneth Bird? The Bird is the word, and he is in the house. What's
Kenneth.
going on?
Yo.
Thank you for rocking and rolling.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess let's just move on. I'll let you guys do all the talking here. No. You guys do all the talking.
Hyper looked at me with a slight. He asked you a simple question. You went a full blast. That's the excitement, man. Come on.
What they're talking about is they
no, dude. I appreciate the excitement. Don't get me wrong. I dig it. That's just my. I don't want to say I have a resting bitch face. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Just the nod, dude. If you would have gave me the, I would have been like,
no, I was nodding in agreement. I was nodding in agreement with what you were saying. Yeah,
it's just a delay in the video feed. That's all.
Exactly. No. But dude, honestly though, if you're on the fence about getting that game, get that game. That's all I'll tell you.
Yeah, dude, it's really good. And plus, I mean, it's we've watched the show. That's awesome. You can play the game too because it's different in its own way. So you'll get as much excitement off the game too.
What statue's right around the corner?
Oh, that's Berserk in Berserker armor, Guts.
Dude.
From Berserk. I wish I could put the camera up, maybe, if you want to take a full look at it right there.
Beautiful.
Bam. Right there, the sword and everything. So.
Oh my gosh. You live in SoCal. There's earthquakes here.
Dude, this furniture is pretty sturdy, but it's pretty heavy. You know what? I think my floor would fall on the first floor and everything still be intact, but then everything would fall.
Yeah, let's not find out.
I know.
All right. Well, what the fellas were talking about earlier is that they get ambushed in the QZ.
Oh, hey.
What's going on?
Hello from Canada.
I'm from Canada too. Montreal.
Oh, yeah, Hyper's from Canada. Yeah.
Yep, Hyper is in Canada.
It's probably your neighbor.
I'm in Canada. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Currently residing in Montreal.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So they get ambushed by some strangers. Someone's trying to play a ploy that they're hurt. And they get rammed into like a laundromat.
Wash your clothes.
Yeah.
And basically, Joel tells her what to do. She follows suit. You know, she's actually listening now because they're in super, immediate danger. And Joel takes out two of the guys immediately. Basically, like he shoots one guy. And the other guy, tries to sneak inside and he shoots him.
Yeah.
And then, but his gun jams, right? His gun jams, and a third comes through the back door. Luckily for Joel, he stops him from shooting him. But while doing that, he gave the other guy the opportunity to get him onto the ground and choke him with the barrel of the gun.
His rifle. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's literally choking out. You can see his legs kicking out from under him.
Flailing and everything.
He's almost gone. And Ellie finally comes through, gets the gun that she had hidden, and shoots him in the middle of the back, paralyzing him. And this is where, like, some people might get upset because you humanize the villains. But I think in real life, there's nothing you can do about that. That's just going to happen, right? Like someone will beg for their life once they're when they know they're about to die, when they're down and out. So now she's freaked out. Like first she was this tough little girl. Now she's quiet and she's freaked out. Joel takes the gun from her, takes out his knife, tells her to go back in the hiding spot, and he finishes them off with the knife. Not bringing any more attention to where they are. And so I think that's an important thing to point out too, right? Like, because why would he has the gun? Why didn't he just shoot him? But you also don't want to waste your ammo. And that's another point of the game, right? So you're seeing this thing without them telling you. And then we meet Kathleen. Now, Kathleen, I think she was also the person who stalked Charly.
2.5 Men.
2.5
I said, I knew it. It's hard to take her serious. I'm like, is that her?
Someone mentioned that she's from 2.5 Men, but I didn't really watch that show. But I didn't.
She's that stalker.
I saw her and I was just like, no way, she's this
familiar.
evil, crazy lady. And Ooh, she plays it well.
Yeah.
She seems like the crazy type, so it worked well for her in this point. She's talking to the doctor who gave her birth. He's inside a cell, and she's basically telling us that she lost somebody. She lost her brother. Fedra killed him, and it was because these people ratted her brother out. So she is basically interrogating the doctor to try to find out the locations of these missing people who have she thinks betrayed her and wronged her, and he won't give them up. I don't think he didn't know. I think he did know, but he's a doctor. Do no harm, right? So he's not going to let somebody else do harm to them. And before she finishes the interrogation, the two of the dead people that Joel killed are brought in front of her, and this whole time she's looking for one person in particular. His name's Henry, and she basically blames everything on Henry. She's saying he probably hired mercenaries, right? And this is all part of this plot. And she tells everybody there to kill anyone who's corroborating, with him, and just anybody. Just kill everyone.
She threw up the set.
Right. And obviously from our point of view, we see that she's wrong. But from her point of view, if you think about it, she's not wrong. Just because of what they've been going through. If you can tell, like, there's no Fedra, they must have battled Fedra and they won, but everything looks like it's in shambles still. So and a very interesting thing here too is we meet Perry. And Perry is her like right-hand man, looks like a military guy, ex-military. But this particular actor was actually the voice of Tommy in the game.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
He looked like
the guy with the beard and the bulletproof vest and everything. Yeah. That's the guy.
He looks like Tommy. That guy looks more like Tommy, but
he voiced Tommy in the game. And so it was nice that they put him into the show, and they made these two characters brand new. They're not part of the game. But this group of people are part of the game. And so they're just basically explaining it further, humanizing them, and giving them a story instead of just being an opposition. Right. And Joel and Ellie are hiding out, trying to avoid them finding them. And they finally
they're smart as shit, though.
Yeah, I mean they're doing a lot of things. So I know I'm going to skip over some details, but you guys can fill that in. We get to a hotel. Maybe a hotel apartment building that's like 45 floors tall. It's 4 blocks away from where they were hiding in the bar, an empty bar. And they go there, and it makes sense to me, right? Because it's smart. Who's going to go up 45 floors looking for you, right? There's no elevator.
I turned myself into Fedra after the 10th floor.
I know, right?
Right. Well,
there better be food up there.
Lucky for them, they got to the 30-something floor, right?
Because I mean, if they're really looking, they have to look through each apartment they want.
Right.
That would take forever.
It would it would be more than a one-day job, I would think. Just going up and down those stairs and checking each room,
every crevice, under beds.
It takes forever, dude. It would take forever. So it's super smart of them to have thought of going to a high-rise building and hiding as far to the top as they possibly can. Right?
Oh yeah.
This is cool. This is where we get a little more banter between them, where he's extremely tired. He said, "We'll go up as far as I can go." And when they get there, he just plops down on the ground, and she just says, "Get your lazy ass up."
He's like, "You're not 52."
He's like, "I'm 56-year-old, you little shit."
I know.
She
major difference.
She knows how to
I know.
But it's like that good, like that. Now we're getting that banter like we would probably expect to see in the game, right? Like this is we're in the middle of the game now of their banter. So I feel like that was important to show. And so they go hide in a room. He throws broken glass on the ground to make sure no one sneaks up on them. And they wake up to a surprise because he can't hear out of his right ear. 2 people are standing over them with guns. And that's how we end the episode. but I do want to obviously we'll point out the pun, the great pun that she says there. But now that we're here at the end, what did you guys think? Point out something that you guys want to talk about, and just let's talk about it. So, Stevie.
Dude, yeah, I want to point out when they were like they sent out the APB and they were like hiding from place to place to place.
Oh yeah,
shows like the survivalist type of mentality Joel has, what he's been through, and just the sheer knowledge of what he had, because he was also kind of telling Ellie, here's the reasons why we're doing this and doing that, because kind of like, to me, it's setting up that he may not make it alive and she would have to press on moving forward. Could be like my speculation, because again, I haven't played the game, but if I were to just think about it, I'd be like, all right, well, this is kind of like a father and daughter moment. Hey, I'm going to give you some knowledge that is greater than gold. I mean, that you're going to need and you're going to use if you're going to want to live. And the fact that they were just going from place to place and outwitting freaking old Janet or whatever her name was, she was not happy.
Kathleen.
What? I mean, she looks like
Kathleen.
She looks like a
You look like a Karen.
That would have been two on the nose. That would have been two on the nose if they did say Karen.
That's why I think they didn't name her that.
That's her last name, Kathleen.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we'll go ahead and follow the comic book Kingpins. I don't like that. But yeah,
I'll try to drop the link in the chat after my turn speaks. I don't like comics.
I got you, brother.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. All right, go for it. Next person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was it, man. One of those things that stuck out to me.
Charlie.
One of the things that stuck out, which was very, how do you say, it was kind of not really easy to overlook, but when the Tommy guy, let's call him Tom, the soldier mercenary Tommy guy, Perry, when he first found the hideout of who's ever eating the can of beans up in the basement,
Henry and Sam.
Yeah, they're definitely in the game. But besides that, after that, he goes, I want you to see something else. So they go to the basement and they find this floor that's all cracked in. Now, I'm guessing this is a different enemy type. I'm guessing that they showed a little preview on the next episode. It's probably a bloater, which is a new enemy type. It's more like a juggernaut of the cordyceps of the infected. So I'm guessing that's what they're going to go towards. Yeah, pending to, because they looked worried, like, oh crap, now we got to deal with this, but first we got to do this first, and then we'll get to this. So something really, really important. So that's something that really stuck out to me. And also, when Ellie shot that guy, I mean, that guy was yelling for his mother at the end, dude. That's
whole time.
It's sad, but they euthanized him in a way because he was paralyzed. I mean, that guy can't do much, and you can't survive out there when your legs don't work. There's no way you're surviving. So I mean, like, they did the guy a favor, I guess. I mean, don't want to get much into that, but I mean, he was crying for his mom. That was tough, and I know why Ellie felt that. Like, oh my god, next time when I shoot, I aim for the head, not for the lower back. But yeah. So that's something that was like, kind of cringy, sad in a way. So, but other than that, towards the last of the episode, when he breaks the glass, he's like, "Why are you doing that?" And he goes, "So I can hear." It's like, "Are you going to hear it?" Well, yeah, I'm going to hear it. The banter, the banter that we're going to have with each other.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's the point. Even though it didn't work,
right?
Yeah. So
how old are you?
He's probably going to hear more banter about that. And the thing is, like, the puns. I mean, in the game, she says that pun about the jeans, and the last pun she says, to Joel that made him laugh in the game was, I hope she says this, but she says, "I was addicted to soap. Now I'm clean." and Joel in the game goes, he starts laughing. He goes, "I never heard that one." He knows the puns because she says also a scarecrow pun, right?
Yeah.
Get an award.
Yeah, he's outstanding in his field.
He knows the puns. He just doesn't admit it because he doesn't want to be friends.
Or he knows some, but doesn't know them all. Maybe.
Yeah, but like, and then he starts like getting along with her with the puns, and that's a cool little character building type of setting.
Yeah.
Which in the game, she actually says the puns to lighten the mood. She says, "Oh, I want to lighten the mood." Then she says a pun throughout the game. So I love that part. I love that pun book, dude. I'm going to repeat that to my nephew and nieces and see what they say. Especially the diarrhea one. See what they say about that.
You know, diarrhea is hereditary.
The reaction could go either. It could go either way. The reaction on that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
Hyper. Give us your thoughts on this this episode up to this point, up to the end. Anything stick out to you that you want to talk about?
Well, Carlos kind of touched on it a bit, and it's the fact that look, and the game also does this very well. There's a lot of gray areas. It's not very black and white as you would think. Like, it's not a good guy versus bad guy. Like you understand that a lot of these people, they don't have inherent nefarious purposes of why they're doing it. They're doing it for their means of survival. And with that dude wailing for his mom and all that, it gives you a very humanistic side of these people that you're technically supposed to root against. And look, it kind of puts me as a viewer in that almost like that situation of like, what would I like? I'll be honest, like, look, I will not be able to survive like in the apocalypse for these kind of situations, because you need to have that kind of callousness that Joel has to move forward. Because if like again, hypothetically, if I was wailing on somebody and he starts crying for his mama and all that, and then I'm like, all right, we're gonna let up. But Joel knew that he had to finish what he started. He couldn't have any loose ends, especially in these kind of situations. So, and even Joel mentioning how he's been on both sides. It goes to show that everyone is not as virtuous as you would think, and that's kind of like how real world is. There's never going to be someone who's 100% evil or 100% good. There's always going to be that gray line. So it is nice to see that humanistic side, even for the villains, the quote unquote villains of the show. And just like I said, based on circumstantial, like I didn't notice this until someone else brought it up on one of their channels, how she looks like a soccer mom. You could tell that she wasn't built for this life. Like she basically the life chose her. She didn't choose this life. So
she got jumped in, dog.
I know.
Exactly.
Don't choose that.
A lot of these people, it's not like a lot of these people. They're not. They don't come. I would wager to bet that they didn't come from a military background. A lot of these militias and all that, they had to kind of be trained into that because of the circumstances around them with Fedra and to some extent the Fireflies and all that. So I do like that. Like it makes it realistic in that sense, where it's not like they could have easily done it where it's like that Nazi-esque kind of like everyone hates the Nazis, that kind of thing, right? In this case, it's not so, because these people have families and all that, and they're just looking out for each other in the best way they could. And I do like the attention to details. Again, I'm going back to the whole thing. Like, a lot of time, a lot of these American TV shows and all that, guy comes into the room, bang, 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 everyone's dead. And, it's very generic. Like, he, like, his gun was jamming. And, he even mentioned how, like, his hearing was lost from...
He didn't hear the guy sneaking in, Yeah,
a lot of that little subtleties, I appreciate that. Like, he like, she asked him, like, is it because someone shot at you? No, it's because all the times because I've been in a gun range and it's not fun. You need to have those like those earmuffs on. It's
for
pretty
sure.
Loud. And just the way he was teaching Ellie how to hold a gun and all that. It's like I appreciate those little subtle hints to kind of add to the realness of the world. A lot of shows kind of gloss over that. You'd be surprised how it goes a long way into kind of immersing you into that show. Like I said, like the kid was probably half of Joel's size, but Joel was exhausted. He just took out two guys. So I like
he just crashed in a car.
Yeah, I like that he was already in a vulnerable position. Like like if it was like prime time, TV show Joel, he would have taken out that guy no problem. But I like the fact that he was in a vulnerable position because he was exhausted. Like he spent his energy on those two guys. So
and he shows his age. The kid's half his age, so that
makes
sense.
Exactly. So
yeah.
It's just I again I can't praise enough on just the attention to like the humanistic side of things on the show, and like fast forwarding to the end, look, no matter how hard you want to be, there's certain moments that like we've had situations like where we want to be mad at someone, but then there's some moment or something that kind of unexpectedly brings our guard down, and you saw that with Joel and Ellie, right? So I like the fact that they didn't turn it into like this thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to be hard for the entire episode, and then it's going to take that one crucial moment for me to sort of like the Terminator almost. He's a human at the end of the day, and look, he had a daughter. Like we can't forget that he knew what it was like to raise a kid. That stuff is never going to leave you. So it shows that even though he's trying to, for his, I guess, own protection of his feelings, he wants to distance himself, but he can't help it. Like there's going to be there's going to be things that she's going to say that's going to make him closer. Like the fact that he apologized for the first time. He never apologized up until this point. He apologized that she had to go through what she went through. So again, the two things my takeaways is the attention to details and the progression of Joel and Ellie's relationship. Those are the two things that are carrying the show by and far. And I know one last thing. A lot of people, I'm still hearing people saying that they're not kind of sold on Ellie. Like Pedro Pascal, I think unanimously. But I know that there's some divisiveness on the casting of Ellie versus the game. Listen, I'll be honest. From episode 1, I was a bit like I took a wait and see approach. But honestly, every episode going forward, she's been winning me over to the point that she's owning this role at this point. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'll point out two things that I really liked about the episode. That it is that relationship building between the two of them, but that the part where he finally relinquishes a gun to her and teaches her how to actually hold the gun properly, that's very important. It's very father daughter like teaching. And also when she asked him, did you do this? How did you know that guy was gonna trick us? And he goes, oh, I've been on the other side too.
Takes
and
one to know
question,
one.
Yeah, and then the question that she follows up with, so have you killed innocent people? And he doesn't answer, but he gives her this look like, you don't want to know the answer.
And that's the answer, though. You know what the answer is.
And she knows what the answer is. So like you get that whole thing without a word. And I love that relationship building. But we've come pretty much to the end of the show, of our review show. So 1 through 5 mushrooms. What do you guys give it? Let's start with Charly.
1 through 5 mushrooms. I give it a 4 because it's build up. I build up. I know the next episode is gonna be higher. I just have this feeling. I'm predicting it, but I give it a 4 out of 5.
Nice. Steve?
Oh man, yeah. I'll stay with 4 out of 5 too. It got me back on board, man. It was a great episode. Everything just leading to 9, man, and I just can't keep waiting to get every Sunday. I'm ready, plugged in and ready to watch.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice. Hyper, what'd you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I remember the second episode I gave it a 4.75. I put it a tad below it because the reason is because second episode, what it had over this is there was a lot more tension building with the clickers and all that. So I think that's the only reason. Again, small nitpick, it was lacking a bit of the tension that I had in episode 2. But yeah, 4 out of 5. And Carlos, you definitely know what's going to happen with the whole Henry and
it's pivotal, brother. It's pivotal.
Listen, Sam. All I'm going to say is tune in for the next episode.
Yes, please.
Nice. Yes.
Please. Oh, by the way, the episode's on Friday because of Super Bowl.
Yes. I was going to mention that. So I also give it a 4 out of 5. I do love the episode. But because of the predictability for me, knowing that the next episode is the halfway point, and I knew this would probably be a lull to build up for that halfway point episode, I kind of saw this coming, so wasn't surprised. But I would have loved maybe just a little bit more action, at least. but that's just being nitpicky, right? I'm really being nitpicky with this episode. So I still think it's a great episode. I can't wait till episode 5. Like Charlie said, it will be on Friday instead of Sunday this week because of the Super Bowl. You don't want to interfere with that. Our review show will still be on Monday though. So
exactly.
Now you guys have an extra 3 days to watch the episode. Hopefully you guys can tune in next week and watch the review. So
yes, please.
With that said, I want to thank Charlie, Steve, and Hyper for being here on the panel. Thank you guys for reviewing the episode.
Anytime.
Steve, can you do me a favor and give out our sponsors a shout out again?
Oh yeah, man, I'll hit you up, bro. So don't forget to guys use code Nerdvana14 for 30 days of unlimited cover price for 99 cents. Again, if you're a newbie into this comic community, you can track your collection. You can go ahead and check the fair market value of prices when they were last sold. You can get a gauge. It's not an actual, right? I mean, if it's actuarial, because you're going to look at different sales coming in, it'll help you gauge, it'll help you bring back coin in your pocket. And for only 99 cents, Nirvana 14. And then use TNH10 for 10% off your purchase over at Bird City. If you guys have been missing out like I have every Friday because of work, you know that they're banging out some excellent exclusives, very limited, and by curated by awesome artists, man. So you gotta love it. And Laura and Ant, shout out to Laura and Ant.
Tune in on Wednesday. You'll see a Bird City exclusive that I picked up over the weekend.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, they were at Cal. Ant was at CalCon. So
nice, man.
What were you gonna say, Steve?
I was gonna say, and don't forget to go ahead and sub up the Comic Book Kingpins. They're on the road to 500, man. Show them some love.
Yeah,
you already got you got
I don't like comics. Got it.
Bam, he's
nice.
in, dude. He's in. He's locked in.
It.
You're gonna appreciate it, brother. You're gonna appreciate it. And anybody who's watching the rewind, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and show love to the community. These guys are awesome, man. Hey, from somebody that does not retrospect or plan on retroing, man, or anything like that, it's a godsend. I'm creating my own words. It's a godsend that these gentlemen are here, man. Gotta love them. All right, Jeff. That's enough of me, brother. Much love, brother.
Yeah. So don't forget to tune in after the show. We are going to have a special episode of Cover Lovers where we're going to have a special guest, Tony Fleeks of Stray Dogs, My Little Pony Animation, Dark Ride, etc.
Very cool.
A long list. And maybe we'll see Trish Forstner in the chat, or maybe even on the show. We'll see. But don't forget to tune in. It's right after this, 6:30. And also, don't forget to tune in tomorrow. You see the Comic Book Women. They're going to be talking about what are they talking about? I forgot. They'll be talking about some special character or details in the background. They're really great at that. Artists, writers, whatever they find their fancy. And then on Wednesday, our Armando Mail Call. On Thursday, Long Story Short. And on Friday, Nearing Nirvana's Friday show where they just talk about everything. So don't forget. Oh, and Saturday, Toy Box.
Yep.
Full week. Tune in and thank you guys. If you guys want to do it right, watch what you like. Couch potatoes for life.
Peace.